Yesterday we have configured load balancers, but our instances were still created manually. What it means? It means when something is not right with the instance, we have to either like manually restart it or manually delete it or like run Terraform apply one once again so new instance is created. We could automate this process and make our infrastructure, our web service, uh, auto-healed by using the thing called auto-scaling groups. So what is auto-scaling groups? Auto-scaling groups allows you to, first of all, automatically replace failed instances without having us to manually intervene. And also it allows us to automatically respond to the changes in the demand to our application and scale up and scale down, change the number of virtual machines automatically. Let me real quick find the good picture and I will explain this in more details. Okay, there we have it. Sorry for the delay. So how it is working? Yeah, let's say we have some certain pattern during the day or during a week where the number of users changing. For example, if it's a corporate application, if it's a corporate application, let's say most user active during morning, yeah, then there is a break in the middle of the day and biggest activity after the break till like 5 p.m. Or if we are gaming, or if we are running online game, yeah, this means let's say our user base is are teenagers. At the day they go to school, they're busy, but closer to the evening, once they return, once home task is completed, they start logging in into the favorite game. So that demand will always vary. And let me open it in alternative editor. So if we were to build data center ourselves and buy hardware that we have to stick into our data center, into our server rack, we could have um, buy as much hardware that is required to meet the peak, right? And the problem is that whenever we are not operating at maximum capacity, all these is basically wasted. All this is idle. And we are basically over provisioning. We are wasting valuable resources. We are wasting money that we could have spent in some better thing. So what auto scaling allows us to do is instead of provisioning for the maximum capacity, we will just order as much resources as we need. So in the morning we'll have by this. After that we'll add more instances, and then we'll gradually decrease so we respond to the change in demand and pay for only what we need. And also, another bonus that we have is that autoscaling allows us to automatically replace failed instances without interruption. And after this introduction, let's jump into coding and create our autoscaling group. So we'll keep our AMI, we'll keep our private security group, but we will throw away our instance and replace it with our autoscaling. So to create an autoscaling group, we need a resource called launch configuration. Now, launch configuration is as a parameter set that defines which actual values will be specified in instances that will be launched using this autoscaling group. This includes, for example, instance type. Also, what it includes is name, the ID of our image, same thing that we did for our for our instance. We can use data source as well. Uh, Also, security groups and our user data. And also our key name in case we want to SSH to it for troubleshooting something. And that's not it. That's just launch configuration. The instances themselves are created using a resource called AWS Autoscaling Group. Um, you can think about relation between launch configuration and auto-scaling group. Same way you think about relation between instance and AMI. Launch configuration is kind of a snapshot, or I would say the class. And auto-scaling group is more like object of this class. So we can have multiple auto-scaling groups created from the same launch configuration. So what exactly minimum size, maximum size, desired capacity means? Just like I described in this picture. Hold on a second. That's how I described in this picture. So minimal size will be like a minimum amount that we ever should have, and don't scale below this. And the maximum size means we'll never scale like more than some certain value specified here. So we can control and limit the range within that will be used for determine whether it still can scale or not. Auto-scaling group can be connected to load balancer target group, which means all instances created or destroyed by autoscaled, managed by autoscaling, will be automatically added to our load balancer. And just like separate standalone instance, this autoscaling group should understand to which environment, to which subnet it should put its instances. In our case, that's all private subnets. And we will also mark all our instances with the proper name tag. It's slightly different syntax you might have noticed from standard resource. That's because autoscaling group itself does not have tag on its own, but it adds tags to the instances that it is launching. And yeah, Sanjeev, I see you have a hand raised. Let me know your question.
Yeah, Vladimir. So if there is any way to disable this temporarily, the auto-scaling group, they want to do for a certain period and bring it back, right? Do I have
Yes.
to go and destroy? So these terraforms like IAC, go write the resource and all that, right? So is there a way to temporarily disable it, suppress it, and then re-enable it after a certain time, or we have to destroy the resource and recreate it?
So you mean so it does not scale your instances, right?
Correct. So yes.
Yes, two options. You can set min, max, and desired capacity to your current desired capacity value. That's
Okay.
the first option. Second option, you might disable the scaling itself. This one will not automatically scale because we will need additional resources like CloudWatch Alarm, and this CloudWatch Alarm may be disabled. And you can also suspend scaling actions in AWS.
Okay.
It is called. So that's the article that you need. Suspend and resume process for an auto-scaling group. And you can decide which actions you would like to stop. It will be AZ rebalance. It should be something. Have a read in more details here, and you'll for sure find out what case will work for you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Okie dokie. Yeah, let's check everything again. Any other questions, by the way? If not, let's move forward and just run Terraform apply. And yeah, since we no longer have our instances, we don't need these target group attachment resource anymore. Did you mean propagated launch? Yes, I meant propagated launch. It is still creating. Yeah, we need to wait a couple more seconds. Would it be a good practice to set create before destroy equals true in the ASG since we're using launch configurations to spin up our instances? Yes. If you creating the auto-scaling group and planning to do migrations later, then yes, create before destroy is the way to go. Sure. Okay, and let's check everything. So we have EC2, we have 2 instances running. And when we go to auto-scaling groups, we'll see this thing called auto-scaling, and we'll see 2 of our instances. And what can we do with this? Let's say, and let's also verify that load balancer is working and serving these instances. Yeah, okay, both of them are healthy. Very good. Let's check. Yeah, and there we have it. And if we, for example, to destroy an instance, we'll need to wait a couple of minutes. And once this is done, you'll see that auto-scaling group will automatically discover that only one healthy instance remaining, and add one more instance as a replacement automatically without us having to do anything. And you might see immediately it created one more instance as a replacement. And if we go to auto-scaling groups, again, we might see the thing called activity, right? And here we will see the log. This one demonstrated that we terminated our instance, right? And this one demonstrated that new instance created as a replacement. And we can go also beyond and, for example, change the delete capacity. And new instances will be added, again, without us having to change anything, any values in our configuration. That's how we automatically scale our instances. That's how we use auto-scaling groups. Let's commit everything. And create our pull request. Today's session was fast. We were able to make everything in just half an hour. So, but don't relax too soon. For Monday, we have significantly bigger topic. I'll return this half an hour back to you. I hope you'll enjoy your Friday evening and the rest of the weekend. And of course, yeah, I will stay for as long as you would like, answering any of your questions related today or related any previous topics. Any questions at all? Anyone? Okay, yeah, then talk to you next Monday and have a good weekend once again to everyone.
Thank you.